Welcome to Person. I'm Paula Todd. Chrystal Gomes is a stand-up comic. Not a very likely choice for the shyest kid in the class. As a schoolgirl, she faked illness to get out of class presentations. After high school, she drifted. An unfinished university degree, world travel, clerical jobs. Then her life became even more complicated. She had vision problems, extreme fatigue, dizziness. At 28 years old, Chrystal Gomes was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. A friend encouraged her to sign up for a self-discovery seminar, and something even more unexpected happened. She discovered her dream of becoming a stand-up comedian, and she's never looked back. For the past few years, she's performed regularly at Toronto comedy clubs and has polished her act at New York's American Comedy Institute. Today, the courage of Chrystal Gomes here on Person to Person.
But you know, men and women face issues like sickness very differently. Men face sickness with despair. Catch a man with the flu and you'll probably hear him say, "I'm so sick, I think I'm dying." Women face sickness with hope. Catch a woman with the flu and you'll hear her say, "I'm so sick, I hope I lose a few pounds."
Chrystal Gomes has wound up in the one place she never thought she'd be. On stage for all the world to see.
Women don't say what they mean. Men don't mean what they say. Women are always conscious of their appearance. Men are often struggling to appear conscious.
Surprising, amazing even for a woman who struggled with painful shyness and spent most of her life retreating into what she called her own small world. Gomes was born in Tanzania and immigrated to Canada with her parents as a young girl in the early 70s. At school, she was sometimes taunted for being different, brown-skinned, and very quiet. After graduating from high school, she drifted, dropped out of university, took a part-time job. It wasn't until she started to travel the globe that she discovered her lifelong passion, escaping to exotic islands. She turned things around, went into tourism at college, and then the setback that changed her life forever. At the age of 28, Gomes was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a disabling disease that attacks the central nervous system. She disappeared into her bedroom and spent 4 years locked in depression. And then she had an epiphany: live large or go home. Now she's a regular on the Toronto Comedy Club circuit and has even performed in New York City.
I think she's done amazingly well. From the first time I saw her, she was very new, very nervous, and she's very confident, sure of herself. And I think her material's improved dramatically.
And you know, not all 30-plus-something-year-olds are living with their parents out of choice. I mean, I actually spoke to my mom and dad about moving out once, but they wouldn't leave.
Chrystal Gomes spoke with me about her remarkable transformation at her home in Scarborough.
Tell me about growing up, because everybody says that you were very shy.
I was an introvert. I was always scared of saying the wrong thing and having people laugh at me, or...
It's funny.
It's funny that now I want people to laugh at what I say.
Now you want to say something that makes people laugh.
Yeah.
Did you have many friends?
I had a few friends. Not many.
How about pets?
Pets? No.
No pets and few friends.
Few friends. What a sad life.
Yes. So what were you thinking this whole time? I mean, what was it that you were afraid of? What were you shy about?
I guess I never really felt part of... I never joined any clubs. I never took part in any activities. I was more comfortable being alone than being with other people and feeling like I didn't belong, like I wasn't part of the group. So it was better to keep myself safe and aloof.
Than to take a risk?
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about not belonging. Where did that come from? Was it because you'd come to Canada when you were
Yes,
8?
I was a child, and there was a bit of racial prejudice when we did come to Canada.
So when would that have been?
That was in 1974.
And when you say there was a bit of racial prejudice, give me an example.
Well, I remember people yelling, "Go back where you came from," and...
Did they know where you'd come from?
No, they had no idea. Yeah, I could have been born here, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Paki, you know, so...
They called you a Paki?
Yes. Yeah.
So, you know, I think a lot of problems in our society arise because of misconceptions we have about each other. So I'd like to clear up some before I go. Like, people, if you enter an elevator and you smell curry, please don't conclude that an East Indian must have just stepped off, okay? Because, you know, an East Indian could have stepped off that elevator days before.
And what did you imagine you were going to do when you grew up?
That was another problem I had. I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. That was a struggle for me constantly. I loved art, so that was a bit of a hobby for me. I was painting, and I was also writing poetry. I love writing, so... But though you couldn't possibly...
There aren't many poetry shops, are there?
No, no.
It's hard to aspire to that.
No, that's right.
So you didn't know what you wanted to do?
I didn't know what I wanted to do. So when I finished high school, I did go to university for 1 year, and I was taking part-time studies and working part-time, and a full-time position opened up, and I decided to take a break from my studies against my parents' wishes, and with and with the understanding that I would return to university once I had decided what I wanted to pursue.
What was your part-time that turned into a full-time job?
I was doing data entry for a pharmaceutical company. I got some money, I got to travel, and that's when I got the travel bug, and I went as often as I could.
So where did you go?
I went to Venezuela 5 times, Margarita Island 5 times.
Now, why is that? That's a lot.
I loved the island. Yeah,
Yes?
Yeah, I felt I must have lived there in another lifetime or something. Yeah. Aruba, Mexico, Cuba, Dominican, England, Portugal.
Wow.
I went to a lot of places.
So you wanted to be a traveler?
Yes.
What did you end up doing?
I enrolled at Centennial College in a hotel and convention management program, thinking that perhaps I could work abroad for a while.
And how did that go?
I was enjoying it. I was really excited about pursuing something that I loved, and it was that following summer that I became ill and was subsequently diagnosed with MS and was advised not to pursue that career because of stress.
How do you feel about that?
About
being able to pursue that career?
I was very disappointed. Yeah, I was very, very angry because I had finally realized what I wanted to do, and now I couldn't do it, and because of the shift work and the long hours that would be part of the job.
Involved.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that summer then, and take us through the trip that you had to take, finding out that there was something wrong. What did you first notice?
It was mid-June, and I had a really severe headache one night. I thought I was going to die. I've never had such a bad head. I've had frequent headaches, but never one so severe. And I woke up the following morning with the left side of my head numb. And then within a few days, the whole left side of my body was numb. And I developed double vision. My speech became slurred and completely garbled. Nobody could understand me. I couldn't walk without help. I couldn't write or feed myself.